Sometimes we forget why we're here. It's easy to fall off track. These help us remember.
These battle scars don't look like they're faded, don't look like they're ever gone away. They ain't never gonna change. These battles.
Growing up, I had a dream, something no one else could see. Tell me what it means when your faith is falling beneath your knees and you can't breathe. Everything you see reminds you of what you're not or something you won't be. You gotta take what you're given, that's how we live it. Don't be mad at the system, it's simply how we've existed. I hear a lot of people talking like they politicians or choose to be an accountant because it's safe in a business. Not because they wanna do it, just because they heard it pays. And who the fuck wants to be poor knowing that's how we've been raised? Society is getting heavy, I can feel the weight. The pressure of success is like 100 million pounds of shame. And that's the reason I'm staying up late, trying to find a way to escape the stereotypes this day and age is making me feel like the only way I'll be happy is getting signed to a label and making money through rapping. I wanna share my emotion because this world is attacking the very principle of life that lets the people be happy. If you don't have a reason to breathe, why even live? These battle scars are impressions of everything that it is.
Don't look like they're faded, don't look like they're ever gone away. They ain't never gonna change. These battle scars don't look like they're faded, don't look like they're ever gone away. They ain't never gonna change. These battles.
Now, if I had a voice that reached 100 million people, I'd tell them there's a reason that we're all created equal. Cause some decide to be great and some decide a sequel to an average person's life is simply what they want to be. So you make your decision, all I know is what I'm given. Won't define the life I lead or the way I dwell in existence. I've seen a greater image on the walls of where I'm living, and the words twisted and scripted remind me of something written. Faith is a gift that is given down to the people. If one believes it, one receives it. It's given if it is needed. Don't ever think you're trapped in a life that you never wanted. Your options are infinite, that's some mathematical logic. I'm not saying I'm a prophet, I'm speaking for what it's worth. These lyrics define my prayers and these battle scars on my church. Not saying I'm a prophet, I'm speaking for what it's worth. These lyrics define my prayers, these battle scars on my church.
Don't look like they're faded, don't look like they're ever gone away. They ain't never gonna change. These battle scars don't look like they're faded, don't look like they're ever gone away. They ain't never gonna change. These battles.
Okay, everyone, I need to fix my camera and I don't want that scene. So let me fix this. Let's move that. Let's move that. Let's move that. There we go. Okay, as you can see, my messy hotel room here. And I think Angela's going to be here any minute. And it's funny because my camera's like way up here and I don't know to look here. I'm always looking down. Apologies for that. Let's get some things out of the way, because this triggers all the right people. Capitalist me, if you enjoy what I do, please consider becoming a patron. I think I'm probably the only channel that consistently commentates on LNC matters. I realize there's a thirst for it, to understand what's going on and to hear maybe a little bit of a spicy perspective, and we can interact, disagree, whatever. Did I say disagree? Very libertarian. That's what we do. We disagree and disagree. This will be a short stream because I need to go get ready for the meeting. But there you go, if that is something you would like to do. Free market. But what I do want to bring up is my widget for comments. Here we go. Now let me scoot over here. That's good. So I love to interact with you, and that's what makes the show spicy. So we will keep those comments up. We're just going to go through what we expect to hear at the meeting and just some various LNC things. First thing, though, I want to show you is the total GOAT, Joshua. He sees what's going on, but you want to know what's funny? The members see what's going on too. We got a great message from a member. Can't display it because it has personal information on it, saying maybe we need to amend the policy manual to create an assistant for Region 5. And I'm going to respond and go, yeah, great idea. And perhaps while we're at it, we should just arbitrarily create some job duties for the at-large, because they obviously have so much free time that they need to mind my business. And there's no, believe it or not, there are no duties for at-large representatives in our bylaws or in our policy manual. So I think I should just create them and shove them down their throat. What do you think? Or how about we just do the jobs we were elected to do and stop minding other people's business? But let's pull up the GOAT. Oh, I need to make that smaller, I think. Oh, it's not taking. Hold on one second. I thought I resized this. Well, maybe I'm not going to be able to, but that is a really cute goat there, isn't it? Okay, here we go. Joshua has their number. Totally has their number. Look at this. This is just great. Yep. Let me hop on the LNC business list real quick. Yep. Still a bunch of petty snarkiness and shots at our secretary for absolutely no reason other than to stir the pot. Actually, Joshua, there's a reason. They want to provoke me. They want me to respond in kind so that they'll have another excuse. But the funny thing is, the more people try to provoke me, the calmer I get. It's when I'm just having a relaxed time and I'm not on my guard and people come at me, that's when I get provoked. But when I'm on my guard, I don't get provoked. I get super, super calm. But way to go. And my, I think I'm getting laryngitis. It's like my throat is so terrible right now. But I also wanted to show you guys, oh, and some of you were asking where you can find the link. Ooh, excuse me. For the meeting, I'll post it on my page, but if you go to lp.org, it's on the front page. There's the link for the meeting. But let's look at what we might be going over. Let me find it. Okay. Resignation of chair and filling vacancy. But we have more on that. Rescheduling the LNC meeting. The investigation committee, that means my motion for reconsideration. Vacancies on LNC subcommittees, chairs advisory committees, and public comment. Here's the thing. I had talked about this before where I was like, do we really have to have a meeting on this day when, like, I'm out of town? I wouldn't do that to anybody else, but apparently I'm fair game. I can only be at this meeting for 3 hours. I could try to continue the meeting. I've got a 3-hour drive to the airport. I could get in my cell connection and try to continue in the car, which I will do. But if not, someone else can be the secretary for a little while. I'm sure there were many people itching for it when they were trying to oust me. I bet you Mr. Longstreth was gunning for my position. He wanted to be secretary at one point in the past. And want to know what the reason was? He wanted to be an officer. That's not a good reason to run for secretary. You should want to be secretary. Since we're all being honest here, right? In alternate reality, I bet you if I got removed, that would have been his first move. But let's now get into the meat of it. Is Ken the chair? I say yes, he is. My good friend Mike Seebeck disagrees with me. But see, Mike Seebeck is like what you call a real friend. He doesn't sell me down the river or stab me in the back. And we have disagreements all the time. And we disagree agreeably. We do have some very feisty arguments sometimes. And then we both realize we got out of hand and we hug it out. But let's pull up what Ken, this is what I had on the screen in the beginning. And thank you, Tyler. So I want to pull up my little frame here. Pull me up here. And I need to, ooh, that's the wrong camera. Need this camera. See, look, it's on the FaceTime camera. I don't want the FaceTime camera. Well, We're going to have the FaceTime camera since I didn't work that out. Okay, we'll just go with the punches. I wanted my better camera. Okay, now this is what Ken had sent to the LNC list. Let me make it a little bigger. You like my, look at me, I'm the captain now. But of course, he didn't say that. Ken is like so humble, and that's one reason why he should have the job. He doesn't want it. To me, that's the best qualifications for wanting that job. But now my chat screen is not up on the window, so I'm going to just have it for me to see. Okay, hi, Jean. Okay, we're going to look at this, but I need to look at it bigger for me. So if you give me 1 second, but this is all on the LNC list. Some parliamentary opinions, and they're fascinating. At least I think so. So here's from Richard Brown, and I think Richard Brown is in the chat, so we're talking about you. And here's where people are getting really, really confused. So let's go through this. And they don't understand the relationship between the bylaws and Roberts. And JJ, the absolute GOAT parliamentarian that saved my bacon, he wrote an article. I think he was trolling Nick a little bit, actually, because Nick knows all of this, but he's throwing it out the window because of his grudge against me. Nick knows all of this. Nick, as I said, is the best presiding officer I've ever seen, okay? But let's go over this. And I've really got no dog in the race. Like, I couldn't care one way or another. Like, I mean, I love Ken as chair. Like, I'm here for that. But if our bylaws said otherwise, that wouldn't have, like, rocked my world or anything. So, here we go. For Richard Brown, his opinion. So, Article 16 of our bylaws says Robert's Rules of Order is our parliamentary authority. Great. And then it says, in the case of vacancy in the office of president, which throughout Roberts is an alternate title for chairman, and he says see section 310, because some people were trying to make a big deal out of that, the vice president automatically becomes the president, unless the bylaws expressly provide otherwise for filling a vacancy in the office of president, not generally officer. And that emphasis is in the original text. It's quite clear. Some people are really relying on the fact that our bylaws say these are the officers, and then vacancies for officers, but that's not expressly for the office of president. It's generically for officers. And while we might be used to there being a board with officers and then non-officers, not all boards are that way. Like, we tend to see the word officer as a term of art. But for instance, in the Libertarian Party of Colorado, we have a secretary, a treasurer, a chair, and a vice chair. But we also have, I think it's like 8 other people. No, 7 other people. They're all called officers too. So it's not quite as formal as you might think it is. And then continuing in Roberts, it says otherwise. It says, not otherwise, it says also, unless the bylaws clearly provide otherwise, notice of filling a vacancy in office must always be given to the members of the body that will elect the person to fill it. If the bylaws are silent as to the method of filling a vacancy in the specific case of the presidency, the vice president or first vice president automatically becomes president. If another method of filling a vacancy in the presidency is desired, it must be prescribed and specified as applying to the office of president in particular, not the general category of officers. As you can see in our bylaws, it says the LNC shall appoint new officers, but makes no specific reference to the chair. It does not expressly say that. So the vice chair automatically becomes the chair. I understand people of good faith can disagree, but I don't think they're terribly familiar with our bylaws or Roberts, honestly. And I do think there's some people who have an agenda. So this is not a conflict between Roberts and the bylaws. Roberts is in the bylaws. People are like, oh, you're going outside the bylaws. No, Roberts is in the bylaws. And he shows how the California party says including chair. And I agree with him. I've discussed this situation with multiple parliamentarians, and I have also not found one who disagrees. Not one. And we disagree about everything. And it's come up multiple times in the discussion forum. So his professional opinion is that the vice chair automatically becomes the chair. Okay, so let me see if there are any comments so far, because I am on another screen here. Yeah, Gene, Nick does know better. Like, Nick has a problem when he doesn't like people that he has to like denigrate everything about them. Like he now says I was a sucky secretary and don't know parliamentary procedure, which I quite obviously do, considering that I'm about to get my credentials. I don't play like that. Nick was the best chair we ever had in his first term. And he still, even in his other terms, except for when he like started going a little nutty, such a fantastic presiding officer. And yeah, I see Nylac 100 here. Now that it was all tied together, he understands. And I think people who really look at this objectively without their preferred outcome, again, my friend Mike Seebeck disagrees, but I think maybe when he sees these opinion, oh, it's Justin. Hey, Justin. But maybe he'll still disagree. I obviously do not doubt Mike's good faith. Absolutely do not doubt it. Okay, so, ooh, didn't mean to do that. Let me, I'm trying to page through. Okay, let's go to the next page here. There's some discussions that Ken is having with Thomas Balk. If you don't know who Thomas Balk is, he's, oh, let me show you. See, look, right there, Thomas Balk, one of the authors, okay? So he gets Thomas Balk's opinion, and they're just going back and forth, and he attaches the opinion, which is right here. So we're going to go through this. Okay, let me pull up my other screen and find it. I love the way he put this in such an organized fashion. I'm going to learn from this for when I'm doing parliamentary opinions. Question: when a vacancy occurs in the office of chair of the Libertarian Party, how is that vacancy filled? Short answer: in the specific case of a vacancy in the office of chair, the vice chair automatically fills that vacancy. And then he gives the sources consulted, which is the same sources that Richard Brown did. Let's go to the next page. And he does his analysis. This is very similar to like a legal brief. I really like it. And so I'm going to address some of the things that people have brought up. The Libertarian Party's use of chair instead of president is immaterial. And he notes that president is the most common title, but that other titles are chair, board of trustees, etc., etc. And adopting RONR as its parliamentary authority, the Libertarian Party bylaws incorporated that authority's interpretation of the meaning and effect of language used in its bylaws provisions. Consequently, upon a vacancy in the office of chair, the vice chair automatically assumes the office of chair. And then he goes on, and we'll flip through those, but they're not particularly valid here. He gets into the nonprofit law because some people have brought that up, and then he gives some of his qualifications, and we will page through those. But this is really somewhat of a simple parliamentary question, to be honest with you. Let me look at comments here. Frank, we're not talking about ballot access laws today, but I am going to be doing a ballot access segment soon, next couple days. Yeah, Gene, both Mike and I enjoy being contrarians. That's why I think we play off each other so well on our Cult of RONR channel, which is another channel, you guys. If you want to learn parliamentary procedure from people who are still learning it themselves and me on my way to getting my credentials, check out the Cult of RONR. The LNC should love it. It's not monetized. Okay, here, and this is all on the LNC list, but if you email me, I can send you these written opinions. So he talks about the applicability of the nonprofit code and what a cutie pie, and his qualifications. And I wanted to pull up JJ's article. Okay, if you guys will chat amongst yourselves, I'm going to see if I can pull up the article that JJ, I might not have it. He cited an article to Nick. Well, you know what? That'll be kind of a pain in the ass. Maybe I'll do that in Cult of RONR. So let's go back to my full screen. Here we go. And comments are back up so that everyone can see their comment. Not monetized yet, Justices. We don't really promote that station, but yeah, if it ever gets monetized, that would be great because Mike then would get some reward for his efforts. We're going to be putting out t-shirts soon, though. If you want to call the question bitches shirt, that will be available soon. Justice asked, let me put this here. Could they motion to suspend the rules to limit Mr. Molman considering how he was elevated to the chairmanship? No, you cannot suspend a member's... I don't know what you mean by limit. What I think you mean by limit is maybe voting. You can't limit by suspending the rules somebody's fundamental rights. I expect Ken will be abstaining from all of this. He's been very, very good about that, unlike our former chair, who voted on everything, which was crazy. And let's see if there's other questions. No, not so far. So let's look at that agenda again. So now that we dealt with the chair thing, but what do I think will happen? I think people are gonna pitch a hissy fit and probably, you wanna know what though? If they appeal the ruling of the chair on the parliamentary authority, what do you think about appealing to the Judicial Committee? I think I will. Because I don't like these agendas. And I think I could get 10%. I think I could get 10% in a couple days. What do you think, guys? If they appeal the ruling of the chair and overturn it, and contrary to these very plain opinions, what do you think about appealing it? Love to hear your opinion. I think I might work on that. Tired of these people running roughshod with their agendas. Checking out comments still. Ooh, messed that up. Okay. Okay, let's take a look back at what was on the agenda. Let me close that widget for a second. Here we go. So we dealt with that. The LNC meeting's being rescheduled because there's no vacancy at the hotel until October. And we suggested having a meeting after the 50th anniversary in Denver. Ms. Ebke said she couldn't make it, so I withdrew my support because, you know, I'm polite like that, unlike everyone to me. The investigation committee, I'm moving to reconsider that because the nominations were a shit show. And several people on the nominations are far from unbiased, including someone who has accused me of stealing something from their home without telling me what it is I allegedly stole. And considering how crucial I was in this, it's just going to become a way to get a dig at me because that's what this person does. And it's just absolutely ridiculous that that nomination made it through. It's just, it's there's poison pills. And there could be poison pills with some of the other nominees that I don't know about against other people. With the way it is now, it's just going to cause more division. I'm not likely to accept the report. I don't think New Hampshire's likely to accept the report. So we either don't do it at all, because we might not know everything that happened, but we know what happened. The rest of the LNC's too chicken to say it, but we know what happened. Our chair was actively part of a putsch in New Hampshire. We don't know who the puppet master is yet. I'd like to. I'd like to know if there was counsel and pro maneuvering by the government. I wouldn't be surprised. So we talked about that. Vacancies on LNC subcommittees. I don't see why we have to do that today. This is like going to be a really long meeting. Chairs advisory committees, why do we have to do that today? And public comment. We always need to do public comment. I'll let you know that some LNC members want to put in webinar mode to limit the chat. I'm opposed to that. I'm in the minority. Yeah, some people get spicy in chat. But you want to know what? We're streaming on YouTube and they get spicy there too. They're getting spicy on Facebook. To me, we should be able and want to face the raw emotions of our members. I know there's other people in the LNC that feel as I do. I welcome member emails. I don't try to, and I know some people are doing this for perfectly good faith reasons, but I don't sort them out of my main email box. If I were to show you my main email box, there's nothing confidential, so I think I can show you. Let me see if I can pull it up. I want to show you, because I want member emails before my face, always, to remember that they're most important, not my convenience. And until I answer nearly every member email, if it's abusive, I don't answer it. Or if it's something I'm ignorant of and somebody else answered it, so I want to make sure before I display this that there isn't but I see Ms. Epke is asking us to slow down the filling of the chair vacancy. I absolutely agree with her. I didn't read her whole argument. I just read the first line, and I agree with her. She's showing wisdom here. Okay, there's nothing confidential here. So, oh, here's that article from JJ. Let me download this because maybe I'll show you. You guys might want to see this. So let me now pull up, because I want to show you the way my email box looks. So let me pull up. Okay. 1 second. Derp, I'm hitting on the wrong screen. Okay, you can see I've got 1,114 emails in my box. See all these where it says LNC contact form? I keep them all there till I answer them. And look, member emails. Most of these are in support of me, by the way. Look it up, this page. You can see all these have my name in the title. Vote no, vote no, vote no. All these were ignored by the people who voted yes. Look at this. I'm keeping all these in my inbox until I answer them. I don't hide them. So anyway, you get the idea. It can go on for pages and pages. So let me close that. How do I make myself big again? I don't know. Let me see here. I think there we go. Okay, that article from JJ. We've got a few minutes. I'd like to get off in like 5 minutes. Let me check comments. Scott, on my personal wall, yeah, I tend to do that, but you're welcome in live streams. I do that on my personal wall because that's my personal space, and I don't need to invite you to that. But you're free to be here as long as you're not abusive. I invite all of my opponents to my live streams. Gene, I haven't taken a look at the California XCOM thing, and to be honest with you, I probably won't say anything about it because of the autonomy of the affiliate thing. Yeah, Justice, they could they could appoint a chair pro tem for this meeting, and that might be wise. I don't know. So people are saying definitely appeal. I think I will if they overturn our bylaws and parliamentary authority. And if I haven't answered your letter yet, it's still sitting in my email box, Gene. So let me pull up JJ's. If I can find it. And anyone who wants this article, where'd it get saved at? Ask me for it. JJ has written a lot of things. Is this it? No. Don't you hate when you download something and then you can't find it? Oh, here it is. So here we go. Parliamentary authority's rule shift function. So it talks about when it shifts from bylaws to Roberts. Now we're not going to obviously read through this, but this is the parliamentarian that saved my bacon. It's kind of a big deal. So just wanted to flip through this to show you that there's a lot of things on this. If you guys would like to see this article, shoot me an email. Don't do it to my secretary box because this isn't really party business. Do it to pinkflameofliberty@gmail.com, and I will get that to you. Okay, I need to start to get ready for the meeting, I think. Yeah, Scott Johnson's comment still here. I find that my critics don't like dealing with me voice to voice. They like hitting running on Facebook comments, and I don't need that. I don't need that in my life. So yeah, I shamelessly block and delete, and I'm not shy about that. But welcome to my live streams. Unless you're James Week, who's going to come in and say I'm old and ugly. Yep. Scott, I did literally do that. And no problem, because it's my private property. And I don't really particularly care for that. And general, well, I would like to see the comment. Maybe I made a mistake. I could be happy on the trigger figure. It happens. Send me the comment. And if I made a mistake, I'll send her an apology. I apologize at least once a day. But, you know, again, you don't have any right to my personal property. And the past 2 weeks, I've been in very mental health bad space, and I'm sorry. My health, well, I'm discussing with you now. If you don't like it, I won't, I'll sleep like a baby. Okay, you'll get over it, I'm sure. And thank you, everyone. The meeting is at noon. I will post the link on my personal wall, and I think it's on my secretary page, so I'll post it there. So I am going to get ready to go. I will see you there. So it starts in 10 minutes, and I hope you guys have a good day, and check out this. I'd like to know what you think of this thing I just made for my patrons.
living, that's how we live it. Don't be mad at the system, it's simply how we've existed. I hear a lot of people talking like they politicians and choose to be an accountant because it's safe in the business.